Nordson Corporation is proud to continue to invest in educational opportunities through our sponsorship of Academic Challenge. Nordson is a global leader in precision technology solutions with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. Each year, we donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profits to charitable endeavors, prioritizing programs that support STEM education, human welfare, and arts and culture. To date, Nordson and the Nordson Corporation Foundation have donated nearly $173 million to charities, awarded $7.5 million in scholarships, and our employees have logged more than 117,000 volunteer hours. Thank you for watching Academic Challenge. Best of luck to all the participants.
This week, teams from
Copley,
Gilmour,
St. Joseph Academy
compete on the Nordson Academic Challenge. All right, let's go to work. We welcome you to the Nordson Academic Challenge as well. I'm your host, Rob Powers. We're so glad you're with us this morning. For the next 30 minutes, our players will be tested on their knowledge of subjects like math, science, history, a few other topics as well. One more time, let's welcome our teams from Copley, Gilmour Academy, St. Joseph Academy. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard right now. These are the scores that these kids are going to need to beat today to see their school's name up on this list. Keep in mind, by the end of the season, 60 area high school teams will have competed in our little game, trying to get their school's name up there as well. 3 highest scoring teams will be right back here to play in our 56th championship game, try to win the top prize of $6,000 for their schools, awarded by our friends at Nordson. Okay, let's get it going. We get it going with the lightning round. All 3 teams compete in this round. I ask 10 questions that have a common theme. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We will take away 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's start every school with 100 points. Ready to roll? You can receive an A if you respond to these questions correctly. All of the answers begin with the letter A, as in Adam. Good? Here we go. This word describes an angle measuring less than 90 degrees. Copley.
Acute.
That is correct. The capital of this African country is Luanda. Gilmour.
Angola.
That is correct. The pronghorn variety of this animal can see movement. Copley.
Antelope.
That is correct. She wrote, I know why the caged birds. St. Joe.
Maya Angelou.
That is correct. One of the inert elements, its chemical symbol is Ar. Gilmour.
Argon.
That is correct. This is the smallest and northernmost of the world's oceans. Gilmour.
Arctic.
That is correct. This South American animal is often confused with a llama. Copley.
Alpaca.
That is correct. Rosa Parks' arrest triggered the Montgomery bus boycott in this. Gilmour.
Alabama.
That is correct. This term refers to a group of islands such as the Philippines. Copley.
Archipelago.
That is correct. Today's final lightning round question comes from our good friend, Power of 5 meteorologist Trent McGill.
Hey there, everyone. Are you ready for the final lightning round question? Here it is. Temperature extremes are nothing new. Now, this is the 2-word scientific name for minus 273.15 degrees Celsius.
St. Joe.
Absolute zero.
That is correct. That's a quick round. That's a good round. We're off and running. Don't move. We'll be back with more of the Nordson Academic Challenge right after this. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like any more information about any of the schools that appear this season, scan the QR code you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That code takes you to the news5cleveland.com Academic Challenge page. We have links for all of our schools' websites right there for you. For now, we play Hot Picks. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions picked by the captain from another team. Correct answers here worth 20 points, no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. Before we get to the questions, let's meet our players. We start with Copley. Joshua, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Josh. I'm a senior. I play trombone.
Thank you for being here this morning. Hi, Nathan.
I'm Nathan. I'm a junior, and I play trumpet.
Good for you. Edison, you're up.
I'm Edison. I'm a junior, and I'm in the chess club.
Good for you. Welcome all 3 of you for your questions, Copley. Gilmour, Captain Ian, open board. 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
You got it. Okay, Copley, these are all you. Here we go. Today, Americans seek a youthful image at spas in what state where Ponce de Leon once sought the fountain of youth?
Florida.
That is correct. If you were stocking an aquarium with literary fish and mammals, you might include what great white whale created by Herman Melville?
Moby Dick.
That is correct. Once a year, people engage in the extreme sport of base jumping, parachuting 876 feet from the New River Gorge Bridge in what Appalachian state whose capital is Charleston?
West Virginia.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Here you see the symbols for 4 elements of the halogen family. Identify the missing halogen, which is often used in water purification.
Chlorine.
That is correct. In American history, the silver gray Whigs were politicians who favored the compromise of what year that brought California into the Union?
1850.
That is correct. When Conrad Aiken titled one of his stories, Silent Snow, Secret Snow, he used what literary device that repeats the first consonant in a series of words?
Alliteration.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. What is the value of this expression? Give your answer as a positive integer.
10.
That is correct. And that was big. This is for the bonus points. To make it harder for his old owner to find him after he had escaped from slavery, what founder of the North Star newspaper chose a new last name from
Douglas.
the poem The Lady of the Lake?
Douglas.
That is right, Frederick Douglass. That was good for the bonus points. There you go. Okay, our second team today comes to us from Gilmour Academy. Team captain is Ian. Ian, tell us about yourself.
I'm Ian. I'm a senior, and I'd like to thank our coach, Dr. Gutowski, and our alternate, Thomas.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here. Hi, Vincent.
Hi, I'm Vincent. I'm a senior, and in addition to Academic Challenge, I'm the captain of our school's robotics team.
Good for you. Michael, you're up.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a senior, and I plan on studying biochemistry in college. And outside of school, I like playing golf and playing the piano.
Again, a busy, busy day for everybody here. All right, Gilmour, your questions come courtesy of Nina from St. Joe's. Nina, 1, 2, or 4?
4.
You got it. Okay, Gilmour, these are all yours. All set? Here we go. Fort Duquesne, a major objective in the last of the French and Indian Wars, is now what second largest city in Pennsylvania?
Pittsburgh.
That is correct. Omar Khayyam not only wrote the Rubaiyat, he also wrote a book on what A-initialed branch of mathematics studied along with geometry?
Algebra.
That is correct. A shepherd who followed a goat into a cave in 1947 made history when he found what ancient scrolls named for a Middle Eastern body of extremely salty water?
Dead Sea Scrolls.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. If a volume of an ideal gas is doubled, its pressure is reduced by half. This phenomenon is described by which of these?
Boyle's Law.
That is correct. How could I have been so far off base? Asked President Kennedy in regard to what Cuban bay, the site of the disastrous 1961 invasion, he authorized.
Bay of Pigs.
That is correct. Were Alexander Selkirk, alive today, he might be interviewed about what Daniel Defoe novel based on Selkirk's experience when he was shipwrecked on a deserted island?
Gulliver's Travels.
Robinson Crusoe's the answer there. That's okay. We go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to solve for X.
4.
Answer?
4.
That is correct. The Hawaiian Islands were named the Sandwich Islands by what English explorer, a sea captain, killed in Hawaii in 1779?
Cook.
That is correct. Nice round, Gilmour. All righty. Our third team this morning comes to us from St. Joseph Academy. Nina, you are the captain. Again, welcome this morning. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm a senior. I'm involved in our theater program, Spring Production, and I'd like to thank our moderators, Mrs. Garlock and Mr. Roaldi.
Good for you. Hi, Abby.
Hi, I'm a junior. I'm on the swimming and rowing teams, and I'd like to thank our audience members for coming out and supporting us.
Good for you. I'm sure they want to thank you, too. Maya, you're up.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm a junior at St. Joseph Academy. I do Model UN. I run track and cross country, and I'd like to thank our alternates, Megan, Allie, and Maria.
Good for you. And there are some familiar faces among all 9 of you today, so welcome back. Nice to see you again. Okay, your questions come courtesy of Joshua from Copley. We're down to 1 or 2?
2.
2, you got it. St. Joe's, all you. All set? Here we go. For quick energy, you might try climbing the Arizona mountains named for what kind of candy associated with Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Chocolate?
That is correct. The words lords, vassals, and fiefs are associated with what political and economic system that flourished in Europe during the Middle Ages?
Feudalism?
That is correct. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of a city over 4,000 years old in what South American country once home to the Incas?
Peru?
That is correct. To the monitor, here's your science question. Protoplasm is composed mainly of which of these?
Carbohydrates.
Water, sorry. In 1937, Earth came within 3 million miles of colliding with an asteroid named for what Greek messenger god, the counterpart to the Roman Mercury?
Hermes.
That is correct. Knights on horseback usually fought one another, but what knight, the title character of a Cervantes novel, attacked a windmill thinking it was a giant?
Don Quixote.
That is correct. Back to the monitor, here is your math question. If y equals 6, what is the value of x? Give your answer as an integer.
3.
That is correct. More than 1,000 books have been written about what U.S. war that began in 1846 and included the Battle of Buena Vista.
Spanish-American.
The Mexican-American War. Sorry about that, but nice round. St. Joe, nice round, everybody. We'll be back with more Academic Challenge right after this. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Joining us courtesy of our friends at Cuyahoga Community College, it's Andy Sikolich, the Associate Dean of Mathematics. Andy, coming back again this season. Great to see you. All right, before we continue with our next round, we're going to take a look at our scores so far. We are in the middle of a good game. Third place right now, 260 points, St. Joe. 320 points, Gilmour. In second place, Copley leading the way at 365. Hold on. Time for the picture perfect round. All three teams compete in this round. I ask 8 questions that have a picture clue. For every correct answer, we award 20 points. But for a wrong answer or no answer, we will take away 20 points. So hands on your buzzers, eyes on the big monitor down front. All set? Here we go. Now at the Smithsonian, this experimental space shuttle shared what name with the fictional starship of the Star Trek crew? Copley.
Enterprise.
That is correct. This bridge crosses the Vltava River in what capital city of the Copley?
Prague.
That is correct. Posing here is what Confederate general?
Jackson.
That is George Edward Pickett. Sorry. What is the average of these 3 expressions? Gilmour.
4x plus 3.
That is correct. Claude Monet painted himself here aboard his boat on what river that runs through Paris? Gilmour.
Seine.
That is correct. This is an American woman who became First Lady when what man was elected our 31st? Gilmour.
Hoover.
That is correct. Seaweed like that on a beach is a source of iodine and what other element whose symbol is K? Gilmour.
Potassium.
That is correct. Private schools are the focus of this Cleveland Magazine cover story, bringing to mind which first American private university? St. Joe.
Harvard.
Harvard University is right. We're going to need more questions. Don't go anywhere. We're going to mix it up right after this.
Between.
Welcome back. Time now to welcome today's school advisors. Joining us from Copley, Joshua Sucarosa, Andy Stevens. Thanks for being here. From Gilmour Academy, please welcome James Katowski. And from St. Joseph's Academy, Nick Roaldi and Jill Garlock. Thank you so much for getting the kids here today. Thank you so much for being here. Time now to mix it up. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round will receive 25 bonus points. Copley, you are up first. All set? Here we go. You can get a possible 20 points if you can find here the name of what heavy metal whose symbol is PB?
Lead.
That is correct. Something that makes you sleepy has had which of these effects on you?
Soporific.
That is correct. Do not groan. Just rearrange the letters in this phrase to name what Spanish kingdom linked to Castile by the marriage of Ferdinand and Isabella.
Aragon.
That is correct. These were the first 2 U.S. manned space projects. Third came the moon flights, named for what Greek sun god?
Apollo.
That is correct. Of these 3 battles, with food or drink in their names, which one was fought during the American Revolution?
Brandywine.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. What man made this statement but permitted complete religious liberty when he founded the mid-Atlantic colony that bears his name? Answer?
Penn.
William Penn is correct for the bonus points. There you go. All righty. All right. Gilmour, you are up now. All set? Here we go. You won't cry either if you find in this sentence the name of what allotrope of oxygen that forms an important layer in our atmosphere.
Ozone.
That is correct. Which of these terms refers to government by religious officials?
Theocracy.
That is correct. Rearrange the letters in this phrase to name what warm ocean current that flows from Florida across the Atlantic toward Great Britain.
Gulf Stream.
That is correct. Most geysers are found in 3 countries. These 2, and what North Atlantic island nation with a cold-sounding name?
Iceland.
That is correct. In the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917, which of these Russian czars was deposed and later murdered?
Nicholas II.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. Here you have a tasty proverb from what European country whose capital is Warsaw?
Poland.
Poland is correct for the bonus points. You're on a roll. All righty. St. Joseph Academy, you're up. All set? Here we go. Hidden in this sentence is the name of what type of triangle with 3 unequal sides?
Scalene.
That is correct. A person who is venerable should be treated with which of these?
Respect.
That is correct. By rearranging the letters in this phrase, you can name what early Congress in place during the American Revolution.
Continental.
That is correct. Imagine listing these as return addresses on your college application, but they are actually towns in what Tar Heel state that includes Cape Hatteras?
No answer.
North Carolina is the answer. Which of these organizations started in 1961 during the Kennedy administration?
Red Cross.
The Peace Corps. The Peace Corps is the answer. This sentiment was expressed by what Union general who burned Atlanta while marching his troops through Georgia?
No answer.
Answer is Sherman. Good round, St. Joe's. Good round, everybody. All right, hold on. That's the end of that round. We'll be back with our final and deciding grab bag round. It's coming up after this.
6:30.
Academic Challenge is online at news5cleveland.com/academic challenge. Get this season's schedule, see results, and watch episodes of your favorite high school team here and on your favorite streaming device. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. We're going to recap our scores right now. It's a tight one. Third place, 340 points, St. Joseph Academy. In second place, 525 points, Gilmour Academy. Leading the way right now, 550 points is Copley. But hold on. Time now for the grab bag round. All 3 teams compete in this round. I ask as many questions as time allows. For every correct answer, we award 30 points. A team will lose 30 points for a wrong answer or no answer. Again, this is for all 3 teams. Hands on the buzzers, eyes on the monitor when we need it. Good luck. Here we go. To understand the effect of outer space on seed growth, 600,000 seeds of what vegetable, the main ingredient in ketchup, were sent? Gilmour.
Tomato.
That is correct. Deep under a hot spring in Idaho, researchers have found a possible model for extraterrestrial life in a microbe that eats what lightest gas? Gilmour.
Hydrogen.
That is correct. Though she wrote a poem titled My Life Closed Twice, what reclusive woman from Amherst, Massachusetts? Copley.
Dickinson.
That is correct. This is what man who served as Secretary of War in Abraham Lincoln's cabinet? Answer? Copley.
Stanton.
That is correct. Between 1892 and 1943, immigrants waiting to enter the U.S. were processed at what? Gilmour.
Ellis Island.
That is correct. If the logarithm of x is 6, what is the logarithm of the square root of 6? Gilmour.
1/2.
3. 3 is the answer. What part of the body is described as a lonely hunter in the title of a novel?
Heart.
Heart is correct. This lovely description is of what independent Arab sheikdom? That's the only Q. Gilmour.
Qatar.
That is correct. A World War II photograph of the flag raising on Iwo Jima inspired a national monument dedicated to what branch of our armed services? Copley.
Marines.
That is correct. Choice. The maximum number of electrons that may be found in the M shell of an atom is 2, 32, or 18. Gilmour.
18.
That is correct. Members of the Daughters of the American Revolution probably studied the Sons of Liberty, who protested what 1765 act with a St. Joe's.
Stamp Act.
That is correct. This is what river that flows through 6 countries and forms the border between Myanmar and Laos? Gilmour.
Mekong.
That is correct. Marble from the island of Paros was brought to ancient Athens to build what largest temple on the Acropolis? Gilmour.
Parthenon.
That is correct. The first large office building to be completely air-conditioned opened in 1929 in what Texas city where there had been a heated confrontation at the Alamo? Copley.
San Antonio.
San Antonio is correct. What contemporary Australian author stole readers' hearts with his 2005 novel, The Book Thief? I'm going to let you answer.
Marcus Zukak.
That is correct, and that is the end of our game. Woo! All right, let's go to the scores. In third place, St. Joseph under the wire, 400 points. In second place, 700 points is Copley, and the winner of today's academic challenge with 705 points, Gilmour Academy. Oh my goodness, what a game. Be sure to join us next time. We'll feature teams from Magnificat, North Olmsted, and Valley Forge. Thanks for watching this one. I'm Rob Powers. Study hard. We'll see you right back here next week.